wellness and resiliency group really focuses on a couple of different things, but mostly it's mental health, physical health, and we have a decent bit to do with also environmental resiliency and the sense of how do we prepare for disasters and kind of those sporadic and rapidly changing events that have happened a lot in the Front Range.
The interconnectedness of all of the different working groups is really important. I really work in natural resources, and I work with other natural resource professionals to plan for where we can do the most strategic work on the landscape that has the most impact. And all of that, we always talk about how that might relate to individual people, and that's where that wellness component comes in.
With our bigger wildfires that we've been seeing, as well as just air quality issues in general, that impacts everybody in the community, but mostly those who have respiratory illnesses or those who might be under-resourced and not have availability of medical care.
I think one of the things we know in Fort Collins from data that we've collected is that 1 in 4 community members, 1 in 4 of our households, have somebody with a respiratory ailment. And so when we're thinking about climate change, we're thinking about wildfire, what people are directly getting impacted by on an almost daily basis.
When we can't even walk out of our apartments and see 20, 25 feet in front of you because of all the smoke, I think everyone that has a pretty drastic impact on our emotional well-being, our physical health.
But the well-being and resiliency piece of it is that we have to reach a point where our communities and youth especially are hardened to that fact, and they're able to adapt and cope with the fact that our world is not quite as stable as the one that our parents grew up in.
Natural disasters, as we've seen in Larimer County, can impact just about everyone, but certainly those that are most vulnerable, the most marginalized folks living in areas where we see these extreme weather events, whether that's a flood or a fire, and now we're seeing heat injury. So those are the people that are 65 and older, are very young, are most vulnerable, those that don't have air conditioning. We see these heat events, these natural disasters, really impacting those specific people.
El cambio climático ya está aquí, y el cambio climático ya nos está afectando, social o en salud. Nuestro ambiente está cambiando y tenemos que adaptarnos. Podemos hacer muchas cosas para prevenirlo, pero ya nos está afectando.
We had a really bad habit, especially in the science world for a long time, of pretending that climate change was like a clock, and one day when it hit the 0 point, everything just disappeared. And the reality is, humans aren't going anywhere, and we're going to continue to adapt and shift into an entirely different world, and for better and for worse. Our job is really to change and increase the wellness, to really position ourselves in a world where things aren't just continuing to roll out from under us.
One of the issues that I think affects us in Loveland, but also in northern Colorado, is water. Water is becoming a big deal across the state.
Droughts that might happen in this area could certainly put stress on the water supply. And then the impacts of that, stretch throughout the economy and people's lives.
Entonces es importante que la comunidad entienda cuáles son las posibles políticas y que ellos ayuden a diseñarlas y a confirmarlas.
We need to have the community working with us together to say these are the types of solutions we would like to see, and this is what we're willing to do, and then we can, as government and nonprofit and other organizations, meet them where they're at and start to provide those services as professionals.